tax coach. And this is my sister-in-law, business partner.
I'm Linda Harris, socially distancing and being socially responsible.
Yes, she is. So I don't know if she's going to keep that mask on or what. I don't know. But we're so happy to be here today. For 14 years, we've been actually on this air on the radio. For this is the first time. This is our debut show on Understanding Money, Facebook Live. We also going to be coming to you also with YouTube and also Instagram. But we're so happy to be here today. And the reason why we're going on Facebook Live under the Henderson Financial Group is because there are a lot of you guys on Facebook. So we created a Henderson Financial Group page and Understanding Money because we want to touch more people. We want to be able to bring our message to people all around, not just Florida, but all around the country and all around the world. And
Power to the people.
And we have a lot to say, don't we, Lynda?
Yeah, we do. We do. So it brings on an added pressure, Robert, because now I got to, make sure I put on makeup.
Be on time.
Hey.
Yes.
Make sure, the hair is tight. People used to say I have a face for radio. I think that's a little shade. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know. A face for radio.
A face for radio. So that, but it's okay. I rise to the challenge. I'm glad we're here. I hope all of my Facebook friends and followers are watching. This is a new era because we dragged you here, Robert.
Yes.
You don't mess with social media.
No.
You don't do it.
No.
You don't have a Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram. You don't mess with it.
No. People are just so
like,
cruel.
people are cruel. You've said that from day one.
I've always felt like that. Really, I mean, I've been in financial service for over 30 years. I mean, I can talk this thing in my sleep.
Yeah.
But, I really don't just volunteer information. Mainly when we have clients and they come to the office and they say, listen, I have a problem. And I say, we have a solution. So being a certified financial planner, certified tax coach, real estate, a stockbroker, insurance advisor, we have a lot to offer people. So I said, listen, I got to get the message out because, I mean, if you have information, it's, you prosper by getting it out. And the more that we learn, the more we want to get out and bring to you all.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here. I can further my agenda of empowering women, and I love my men, but I can further my agenda of empowering women, especially young women. I'm just loving what our young people are doing. I even now more than ever, Robert, it's all about the money.
Yes.
You've said that from day one.
Yes.
And let me just say, it's important now more than ever.
Yes.
It's all about the money.
Yes.
If you want someone's attention, money. If you want someone elected, money. If you want to have options, money. It's all about the money. And so what we're doing and what we've been doing for over 15 years is super important. And we don't mean to glorify it, but like you always say, it's right up there with air.
Yes.
It really is.
And so many people, we take it for granted that a lot of people understand everything about money, but they don't. I mean, really don't. They don't. Most people still don't understand the difference between a Roth or an IRA. And they definitely don't know the new style life insurance because most people think that life insurance, it's only term and life insurance is just the death insurance. But now, just like cell phones are now smartphones, man, this whole insurance world has changed. I mean, now life insurance. I mean, you can use it. We use it for retirement planning.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get tax-free retirement. We call it a super Roth. Yeah. So we're going to tell you about those programs. Also, there's programs out there to help you get out of debt. Like this My Family Bank that we use and clients really love. We helping people that normally it would take them 30, 40 years to pay off their house, student loans. I mean, this My Family Bank, we teach you how to use your money not only twice, but 3 times. What I mean by that is most of the time, people have been brought up, if you have $1 and something costs $1, you spend $1 and you have no money. But with this Your Family Bank strategy that we use, you take your same dollar and use it 2 times, 3 times, and 4 times. Because some of y'all don't know that banks use your money 10 times. So we show you how to stretch your dollar, the same dollar now. You don't have to have credit. You don't even have to have a job. But you have to have some money. And we'll show you how to make that money stretch 2, 3, 4, 5 times. You can buy real estate, buy cars, pay off debt, the same $1. So we got a lot of things to talk to you about.
Absolutely. But Robert, in light of what's going on, I posed a question to you, and I don't think you answered it, so I want to talk about it with you.
Okay, I can answer it.
You can answer? Yeah, you ain't scared.
I ain't scared at all.
I was wondering, and again, in light of everything that's going on, has the color of your skin interfered, gotten in the way, prevented you from making money, from having an opportunity to get money? Has it cost you money to lose money? Has being black, does it hinder you? Has it hindered you? Do you think that the color of your skin will hinder you? And it's hindering people today. Now, I got stories.
Well, I'll answer since you. I mean,
answer
Lynda,
that for me. Answer that for me.
I'll be lying. As black as I am, I'm not even light skinned black. I mean, I'm black, all right? Now, you know it has hindered me. I mean, some people have said, hey, you know, Robert Henderson, the certified financial planner, he's really, really good. And people will say, even black people will say, is he black? I'm not going to a black person.
Wow.
Whites automatically. I mean, now we have a lot of white clients.
But you, CFP,
That doesn't, come on, LeBron
certified
James.
tax code.
It does.
You are like the sensei. You're like a black belt in this financial industry. And so you have the qualifications, matter of fact, excel in it. And yet you believe that the color of your skin has...
Well, put it like this. When I first got in this industry 30 years ago, I was the only person of color, only black person in the firm. And it was the top-notch firm in the whole southeast of the United States.
You're the only black.
And I was the only black in the firm.
All right.
And they couldn't, the owner, he liked me, and he said, Henderson, I can't give you clients because a lot of the clients are white. And
He
they don't,
said that to you.
yeah, he said it to me. First, I started noticing it because other advisors, when people would come in, he would assign different advisors to someone who just walked in off the street. He would assign them to work on the case. He wouldn't sign anything to me. So I asked him, why aren't you signing cases to me? And he says, hey, you know, these people have a lot of money and they don't want to work with somebody black. And I had said to myself, you know, it's him. He believes that also. Because I started thinking about, you know, Bear Bryant. I could start thinking about, you know, Alabama, how, you know, they've racist football team, you know, but they'll put a black guy on there if they're going to win. So I started
But
saying.
he knows you're good.
He knows I'm good. So I said, that the society may be, you know, prejudiced, but he had to have some in him too because he didn't believe in it and he had the guts and the courage. So I would go out actually and get my own clients and bring to the firm. Yes, I would. I would bring to the firm, and that's how I got paid. But I learned a lot. I learned a lot. So, yes, I've always, and even now, I mean, some people just don't want to come to a person of color. They think that we don't know anything about money, even though we're like Navy SEALs in this business. Being a certified financial planner, I mean, you're top.
Insurance broker. Most financial planners hang that shingle up with just one license, insurance license. But you've exceeded that. Exceeded that. Is that, you think that's what drove you to open your own firm?
Well, actually, the firm had moved. They moved to Orange County, California. And then I got recruited to another all-white firm in Coral Gables, Florida. And I was the only person of color then. By that time, I got used to just, you know, bringing my own clients in. And then I said, you know, in 1990, I said, it's time for me to open my own business and help people. Because the firm I was in Coral Gables, the minimum account size that you had to have in order to do business with them was $2 million.
Oh.
And I figured, like, so if you had $1 million and you wanted to actually be a client of theirs, you're not good enough. And that was, oh my goodness,
I know.
That was 20 years ago. So I said, okay, well, I mean, my uncles and cousins and friends, and I'm at the barbershop. I said, you know, a lot of people need help. They need to understand the financial services. So then I opened up the Henderson Financial Group. That's what really happened.
So you didn't let it stop you. You recognized it. It was right in front of your face. It's not like you could ignore it.
Yes.
But it didn't cripple you.
No.
It didn't make you crawl in the corner. It didn't make you angry. As a matter of fact, you used that mess and it became your message. And you've been empowering people about money ever since.
Well, you know, I believe, you know, when life gives you lemon, makes lemonade, you know.
Look at you.
That's what I believe. I mean, whatever.
And you did.
Yeah. I mean, you know, don't let it stop you. You know, there's no sense in me feeling bad about a situation. It is what it is. That's why I always tell people, listen, you know how the system is. It's not equal justice for people of color. So two places you don't want to be. One, you don't want to wind up in the penal system. You don't want to go to the judicial. You don't want to deal with the courts. You don't want to deal with the court system because you're going to say it's not fair. You go in, you have some marijuana, they give the white boy 6 months probation. They give you 10 years. Same thing. I mean, we know that. So it's not a surprise. We know that. So if you know the system is not equal, then there's no sense in testing the judge or the people. No, it's the same thing with the cops. And right now, look at what we're experiencing. I mean, thank God, who would have ever thunk that Apple and this whole smartphone was going to be used to help liberate and help actually bring about a change in terms of racist and racism. No one ever thought that, right?
Ever. The changes we're seeing now, Robert, I am glad to be here to witness it. I just hope we can now turn that into the voting booth and activism. And at the end of the day, it's all about love. I think if we just express more of that, a lot of these problems will be solved. I personally, now, and we debate this all the time, so now you as a black person, a black man, me as a black woman, if you were to ask me if I ever thought my color, my gender got in the way of me making money, I missed opportunities, the answer is heck yeah. And that's how I got the nickname Little Scrappy, because I had to scrap.
Little Scrappy?
Little Scrappy. I've had to scrap and scrape all my, like you said, I'm not a light skin, you know what I'm saying?
But you scrap, you think because of a woman or because you're black?
That's a good question, but I think first thing they see is black. But then they see a woman too. So it's very interesting. And to this day, I gotta say black.
Yeah.
I gotta say black.
Because they see you first.
And then it's an added barrier to be a woman. I remember when I worked for the city of Miami, I started out as a typist clerk too, and then the secretary too. And I had the nerve to want to be a surveyor. We called it Engineering Technician 1. And I was the first black female. Was it? No, black female, because they did have one other woman. And boy, did I catch heck. And that was when the good old boys was there. It was very interesting. You're 1 minute late, Miss Harris. Now, mind you, you think I'm small now. I was probably 100 and something. And surveyors, we had to find a little pin in the asphalt. Some people made me pick up that sledgehammer. You want to do this job? And so you see this young lady, and I'm finding the pin, and I got this sledgehammer that weighs more than I do, and it was quite an ordeal. It was quite an ordeal. And then I had a situation where I would go, I bought real estate all my life.
I mean, did you ever feel like quitting?
I did, but my dad, oh man, I miss him. He would not he didn't believe in that.
Colonel Bill.
Yes.
And he was a police officer,
yes.
colonel.
I worked for the city of Miami. He worked for the city of Miami as a colonel. And he was like, no, Dusty. That's what he used to call me.
Dusty black.
Dusty black. You're not shiny black. You dusty black. But no, he wouldn't let me, and I'm so glad that he didn't. But yeah, I've had situations where, and then as I'm starting to advance in that area, engineering technician 2, 3, again, lots of slack, and then we had to take exams. And Robert, I scored number 1.
Wow.
Number 1.
So you didn't get mad, you got even.
I sure did. But you know what they did? Somebody put out a rumor that Lynda Harris had the answers.
Oh, man.
I get back to the office after being in the field. They called me into the office and said, you have the police department detective such and such. Detective, okay.
Just going to take you to jail for cheating.
What? They actually took me into an interrogation room and asked me, did I have, and actually interviewed me about how did I have the question, who did I study with? I could not believe it.
Wow.
So for me to be number 1 on that test, it's like you had to cheat.
Yeah.
And what I did was study, and I had other black men there to support me, and I lived and breathed it, and it's very interesting.
Well, it's the same thing when I go to the CFP Certified Financial Planners Convention. I mean, man, it's like 80,000 of us. But I mean, if you see not even 100 people that look like me, a lot of people that don't look like me don't believe that we're certified financial planners. So oftentimes when I go to those meetings, I put the CFP on my lapel, certified financial planner emblem, so they'll know that I'm not part of the help or serving cocktails.
Or they won't say more coffee, please.
Yes, more coffee. So that's what I have to do, because most people, especially people that don't look like us, they can't believe. I mean, because it's a tough test. I mean, it's really, really a comprehensive test. That's why you don't have a lot of people that are certified financial planners. I mean, you think about it. I mean, it's 328 million people in the country. We only got 80,000 certified financial planners in the whole country. That's for all 50 states. I mean, that's the top of the line. That's who you want. So you know it must be a rigorous, it's like a Navy SEAL test.
Like a law.
Oh my goodness.
Some people say it's more difficult.
Oh yeah, you gotta know about everything. You know,
the bar, taking the bar.
oh man, we debate whether that test is harder than the bar or the CPA exam. All of us all the time, but we think that it's really tough. I mean, it was 2-day exam at the time when I was taking it, but hey, it's you know we got past it. So, but yeah, there's a lot of discrimination.
It's a lot. So you're looking at two people that turned that around. You're looking at two people that says, listen, I'm going to get even with stacking my money. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at two people that say, we experienced it, but you can use that as an excuse, right? Or
Yes.
you can use that as a catalyst to just get even. And I don't mean even in a bad way. You can teach people about it. You can hope that they listen so they don't make the same mistakes. So, I mean, I can't live your life for you to the young people. And I got 18 nieces and nephews, and I try to talk to them. But I can certainly share my experiences with you in a hope that you avoid some of the things we went through. I'm going to tell you, Robert, again, money is the equalizer. If they don't listen to you or pay attention when you walk in with that credit score, and you just a little credit score bragger.
Wow. I mean, mine's
Credit score
850. I
envy
mean,
there.
I
What
can't get
is
no
it?
higher than
What?
850.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, 850. I can't get no higher. I'm like, wait,
That's
can
what
I get
I'm
the
talking about.
I like, can I get the 860? Can I get the Can I get the 900? Like Henderson, the top is.
So you
850.
walk in a bank, you pretty much walk on a car lot. You drive us, yes sir, just take it. You don't have to give us anything. That's what we're
But
talking.
it hasn't
That's what we
always
want
been
you-
like that, Lynda. It has not always been like that. When you have 850s credit scores, you get people calling you, sending you, hey, you want 300,000?
Isn't that
You want a line of credit? I'm like, no, because when I didn't have nothing, man, woo.
But now you used to say, would you loan money to yourself with a Freddie Krueger credit score?
That's true.
You used to say that as well.
That's true. America loves winners.
Yes.
America loves people who have triumph. America does. It's like the movies. It's like a good song coming from an underdog who comes. As a matter of fact, I think, Lynda, even now, with the Floyd incident and now the other guy, the guy just murdered him. But these murders, it's egregious acts that, some of our law enforcement officers have committed right on camera. I think that's why you have some good white folks that are coming out and saying, just humans. This is just not right. Black, white, but this is just not human. And they always said people of color, we wasn't human. We wasn't, 3/4 of a man. But now when you really put the cameras and let people see, that's just not right. And right now, what's happening right now, the whole protest, which I think is so good.
Isn't it wonderful?
But Lynda, it's so good to see a rainbow of people. Black, white, Spanish, Chinese. Not just in America, but all over the world.
Yeah.
It really, and one thing that's amazing, the protests haven't stopped the stock market. Can you believe that?
That's a good thing.
It hasn't.
It has not. I think they've taken out the part of it's not about, it is about money and economics, but really it's social injustice. So we're going to let the market do what they do. We're going to keep going with our financial markets, but we got this on the streets. And this is about social injustice. So I'm glad it hasn't tumbled the market like coronavirus did initially. But I'm glad that it's not,
But
tumbling
amazing.
the market.
But 40
This is
million
good.
people out of jobs right now, unemployment, and
know.
then the airlines are not operating at full capacity, and the hotels basically are shut down.
industry,
And the cruise industry, it's amazing that a lot of those industries are still up. It seems like when you look at the math part and everything that you have learned about economics and finance, the market should be down to 5,000 instead of Dow Jones Industrial Average at 26,000. It really should be real way down, and that's why a lot of talking heads, so-called smart people, are saying this thing has got to crash because it makes no sense. But really, in reality, a lot of this stuff makes no sense. In terms of just what is good and what is value. It's perception. Its perception is everything. What makes a painting that looks like Scribble Scrabble worth $10 million or $50 million? It's because you have someone that will buy it. and someone else will buy it from that person. It's the same thing as real estate. Everything is your perception. We actually create the value. If someone will pay for it, then that's where the value. That's the price where it's at.
And that's why I think our show is so important the last 15 years. That's why we're going to continue doing this. We want to make sure that, okay, they can't unsee our skin color. We are black. But we're going to come to you qualified. We're going to come to you with money. We're going to come to you empowered. We're going to come to you financially educated. We're going to come to you financially literate. And so it's so important what we do, Robert, because we're trying to really, in addition to social justice and equality, we want to see financial equality. We want to build wealth. We want to close that income inequality gap.
Yes.
Because when you have money, you can back candidates that look like you. You can put candidates, because it takes money to run. I don't mean to say buy a candidate, but it takes money to run. And a lot of good people don't run because they can't raise the money. And that's why incumbents always win time and time. I was listening to, I forget what's so many of them, what state it was, but that mayor's grandfather, great-grandfather, father, brother, and now he's the mayor. And it's all about the money. So what we're doing here, it's even now more than ever, is so important. And I gotta say, and we say it all the time, just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it don't exist.
Yes.
You just don't know about it. You do what you do well. You keep doing what you do well, and come to the experts. Let us show you. There's so many things. Like Robert said, it's not your grandfather's insurance anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? A lot of our things are free. You know, this is going to be on YouTube. I'm challenging you. Okay, you doing your thing, but you got to get your money up. You got to get that credit right. It's so important. And so you're looking at two people that took, I don't think it's a negative being black or a female. I don't want to say took a negative, but what God gave us, and boy, we turned it around.
Oh, I think it's a blessing.
You think it's a blessing?
Yeah, being born into being blackness, because it's like if you're not dead or in jail, locked up forever, and you're black and you're thriving, I mean, you're top of the class, because it's like being in a football game. Everybody, I mean, you've been tackled, you've been challenged every time, and if you can get past and you can have a good life, if you can have a good life, man, and financially have a good life, you're a bad mama jam, because anybody really gave you nothing, you know.
Right.
But Lynda, I really like what's happening right now in terms of not the killing, but the exposure of this whole systemic racism. The corporations are talking about it. I mean, yesterday we just celebrate Juneteenth.
Yeah,
I mean, who would ever thunk that?
Yeah.
And that just the whole.
It's beautiful.
Just the whole concept, everything, the freeing of the slaves, and we get more people that don't look like us talking about it. I think that's incredible. That's never happened in all my 62 years on the planet. I was talking to an attorney friend of mine. He's 72, a Jewish guy. He said that he's never, ever seen a movement like this. And we compared it. We said, well, back when King was marching, and he reminded me, those was rabbis, and priests, and clergy people. But it wasn't, the average Joe Blow citizen. It wasn't, little white boys and white girls and Spanish boys and Chinese and, all nationalities, Jamaican, black. I mean, you got every age category out there now. They're saying that it's just not right. It's just not humane. And when you look at some of the things that we've seen on camera, you're saying, is that a human? Is that a human? You follow me? Is that a human that doing this to another human? So that's why a lot of us are shaking their heads. So I do like where we're going. I know like Allianz, a company that we use, they was actually closed yesterday, and that's a German-owned company. Yes, that's a German-owned a life insurance company. They closed down for Juneteenth. I mean, I love that, But what I'm trying to say, basically, the protests are good. But let me tell you something. I truly believe that it's really not going to come. People respect you for having power and money. I'm going to say that again. Being black is just not enough in terms of to get rid of systemic racism.
So you can't just be black and have a federal job and just get a paycheck and just be mediocre and just live your life, stay out of trouble, keep your head above water, that's not enough?
No. You know, I think that the time would really change when people view black people as not as people who are committing crimes, and not all of us. But I'm the ones who are like you and I, the ones who are professional, the ones who, you know, comb their hair and brush their teeth and live a good life. I'm saying for the ones that, since you wear this dark skin, you got to stop, you know, committing crimes, and you got to listen. What I'm trying to say is even driving around while black and having a suspended license. When you're black, it's like you always have to be better. You always have to have your stuff together. But listen, think about it. The only reason why you have LeBron James or Steph Curry, those guys are not at the top of their game just because they're black. They are at the top of their game because they're very good at what they do. And I've always said, I don't care if you're a musician or however you look, or an artist or a doctor, when you have to be so good that they can't ignore you. And right now, there's a lot of black people that are in the world that are doing things, inventions that we haven't even heard about. We haven't. Look when that movie came out about the astronaut. What the color of what is it called?
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures. I mean, that's been out 50 years ago, and we just found out about it when they put out the movie. But we didn't grow up knowing that it was a sister that helped America get on the moon. We didn't know that. Just like they kept Juneteenth out of, you know, the history books. So they write the history, and they actually write it the way they want it to appear. And perception is reality. So when they lie and don't tell the truth, they can't say that, you know, the greatest basketball player or Hank Aaron or the baseball players, you know, or football players, they can't hide them and say people of color didn't contribute to, you know, those areas. They can hide a lot of the scientists, the financial advisors, you know, the doctors. They can hide, you know, engineers. They can hide that. But what they put out is every night on the news, in every state, every county, every city, the first story that comes out is some black boy or something happened in a black neighborhood, if you stole a car or whatever. And that perception.
It's been like that all our lives.
It's been like that all our life. Yeah. And it makes us feel like we're not enough. You know, that we're and not only
they don't show enough of this.
They don't show enough of this, and that's by design because we don't control the media.
Yeah.
And they control the media, so they shape what we see and what we feel. And then we start feeling that about ourselves. And then the worst thing is that the white people who don't know. The media has really done a job on them. I mean, they really duped them to think that black people are not worth a whole lot.
What's so interesting is I don't know any criminals. I don't know anybody personally.
Yeah, personally.
They're not in my life, in my circle.
You're not in your
I
circle.
Grow up with it.
Right.
So when they show that, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know people that get over on the system. I don't know people. I don't know. It's.
Well, you know, I remember this was when I was with a firm, one of the firms that I was with, and the owner came to me, and I was the only person of color, and he says, and he was Jewish too, and he's a Jewish guy, and man, I tell you, they taught me so much, and a lot of the work habits. But this is what he said to me. He says, Robert, you know the difference between, he said there's 6 million at the time. He said there was 6 million Jews in the country. And at the time, it was only 30 million blacks in the country. And he said, you know what the difference is? And I said, yeah, you just told me there's 6 million Jews in the country and there's 30 million blacks. Okay. He says, no, Robert, let me tell you what the difference is. He said, all 6 million of us Jews count. All 30 million of y'all don't.
Wow.
And first, I really thought that was, you know, racist. But I know Peter, I mean, he had me in the firm. He owned the firm. He liked me. He would tell me, Rob, come here. Let me teach you this. Let me show you this. And he saw something in me. He really did. And he said that I was going far. But when I got home, I thought about it, and I said, was that
6 million of them count?
He said all 6 million Jews count in the country.
And all 30 million.
And all 30 million black people don't count. So that was his perception. Not only him, but he was saying that we had a lot of slackers. And he was saying Jews, because people know Jews, you know, as being very, you know, productive and bankers. And he said, the Jews, we control the textile. We control the arts and the science. We control the banking. And when he was saying that, he wasn't telling a lie. So then I said, wow, if it's 6 million of them, so therefore the Holocaust, really had an effect on them. And they said, you know what? We're going to get economic power. That's what we're going to do, because they can't change being Jewish. So what they set out to do is become very educated, have value, and all of them count. And when he said that, I said,
Wow.
oh my goodness.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's what black people have to do,
powerful.
because we can't change being black.
No.
But we can say, okay, all of us going to count. So blacks, when the day come where we are networking with each other, while we are an economic force, because money talk.
Yeah.
That's why our show is called It's All About Money.
all
When
about the
each and
money.
every one of us count. What I mean by count, we're sharing, we contribute, we have industries, we have professions. Everybody don't have to do the same. Everybody don't have to be lawyers and doctors. But if you're in your neighborhood, if you're a cleaner, you're cleaner's business, and you have a doctor, your office, you're a dentist, you have a lawn service, everybody, all of us have to count. When we do that, let me tell you something, man, money really speaks, and it changes things. Because being black, because I don't think that you can legislate goodwill.
No, you can't. We've tried that.
No.
You can't. But they will respect you with that 850 credit score and with money.
And that's right. And having knowledge and being so good.
That's right.
Because we have a lot of white clients, we have Spanish clients, we have agents. And they didn't come to me because they said, I want to come to this black dude.
Right.
No. They came to me.
Making them money.
They came to me because somebody referred me to
right.
them. And they said, oh my God, he is really good. And they didn't care if I was blue or green. So there's a book out there called Be So Good They Can't Ignore You.
Cannot ignore you.
And that's what happens when you're so good, whether it's music, whether it's the arts, the science, whatever it is. Be so good, man, because you got to be good, because that you have to be much better than the person that don't look like you. But I don't feel bad about that, because I do believe that we don't use all that God has given us. I think that, they say most people don't use 10% of their ability. I truly believe that. That's why I continue to study, learn, and I've dedicated my life to learning.
So what I'm hoping, and I see it, that will come out of this, in addition to the social change, is the knowledge that you have to get your finances in order. You have to get that back office in order. We have to, as you know, I'm the chairwoman of the Women's Business Council of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, right?
Yes, chairwoman. Yeah, you have to put that
Madam
little
Chair. Okay, right.
advertisement in. Okay, Madam Chair.
And we're going to do a webinar about supporting each other. Do you know how much money we can make if we only just supported each other? Do you know we would stop having to beg, scream, holler if we just supported each other?
Yeah.
If we just went to the black chiropractor, if we just went to only the black lawman. Now, I'm not saying don't go to others, but we can empower each other so much. So when a lot of people just don't understand the economics of this. So I love the social justice part of this movement, but we gotta couple it with economics, and that's who we are, and that's what we are. Understanding money, how it moves, how it affects decisions. I got a lot of people saying, I don't care who's in the White House, it has nothing to do with me. I think we're seeing a little bit of difference in that. It does have a little bit to do with you. Ask DACA, ask the dreamers. You know what I'm saying? Ask the people that's opening up our state when we're not ready. It has something to do with who we elect. And so if we don't elect somebody that not just sympathize with us, but empathize, we're gonna have to keep, scrapping and being a little scrappy. And I'm up for it. But man, I'm getting tired. The sister getting tired, Robert.
Yeah.
I really am.
But when you're tired, Lynda, that's not going to help. This is we got to fight to the death.
my life.
We really do. We really do. And we have to communicate with each other,
We really do.
We really do.
We'll be so much more powerful. But a lot of things we do are free.
Yeah.
Webinars. You've written several books. How do we get people to make sure that they see the value in it?
Well,
what else can we do? I'm gonna put it on us. Are we not? Maybe you guys can chime in. What is it we're not doing? Why on our seminar standing room only?
Well, because we're not saying it's easy. Now, let me say something, because people that know me, our clients know that I've always said, do what's hard.
Yeah, you do.
If you really want to make a change in your life, if you really want to go to the next level, you got to pick the hard stuff. Why? Because if you pick the hard stuff, a lot of other people said they don't want to do it because it's hard and makes you more valuable. I want to say that again. You know, they did a study and they said that a lot of African Americans go to school, college, and they have, they're paying student loans, but they pick jobs that when they come out don't pay a lot of money.
The major is not.
The major is not, they're not biochemistry, bioengineering. And because people, you think about that, those are hard subjects. But the system is set up to pay the hard subjects, to pay you for the hard subjects. I mean, the reason why heart surgeons make more money than a janitor, because it's difficult. Now, as soon as we start attacking the difficult things, then you will prosper, because money comes in scarcity. If everybody knows how to sweep a floor, they're not going to pay floor sweepers a lot of money. But if you can do something and you stand out and you're so good, you make more money. That's just the way the system. I don't know why the good Lord made it where, it's to get to the top, you have to go up a hill.
Right.
But to get to the bottom, it's easy. You can just roll down a hill, and it feels good rolling down a hill too. But when you're down there, you're at the bottom. When you're at the top, I mean, to go up to the top of the hill, you got to use your buttocks. You got to get up there. But when you're on top of the hill, oh my God, look at the view. You can see, and you have an advantage point,
Good point.
more than the average person, because you're on top. You can see.
There's not too many people up
Yeah,
there. 'Cause
not
they,
right.
They didn't want to go up that hill and use the glutes and all that good stuff. So you saying we're not promising riches? We're not saying, susus or whatever it is, asus. We're saying that you really have to work at it, and we're not lying to the people.
No, I think that, think about it like this. I mean, when a certified financial planner, I picked that field. I picked that because it was very, very hard. I tried 30 years ago, I tried to get my buddies, my homeboys to do it with me. And they said, you're crazy. We're not reading all those books with no pictures. But I knew that was where the gold, the gems were. I knew that. Instead of going to school to be a social worker, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with social worker, but we need them.
Yes.
But if you want money, okay, if you want money, you have to go where the money is at, where they're going to pay you. If you want to have a good living, that's why income inequality has just widened and widening, because they're paying the engineers, they're paying the biochemistry, they're paying the computer, they're paying all the hard stuff. But let me tell you something about this hard thing. And when you say things are too hard, riding a bicycle was hard at one time. Learning how to ride a bicycle, Lynda, learning how to swim. Oh my God, you could die. There's still a lot of people who don't know how to swim. And if you don't know how to swim, I challenge you. I don't care if you're 60, 70, 80 years old. Go to the YMCA. Learn how to swim. It's more than swimming. But you have to overcome that fear. And so back to what I'm saying in terms of hard.
Right.
Especially if you black, man, being black and poor in America and looking for equal justice. I mean, it's hard. It is hard, man, because you're trying to legislate goodwill. You have to learn something. Now, if you don't know anything about computer, like I'm saying, at one time, none of us knew how to ride a bike. You didn't come out of the womb learn how to ride a bike. You got on a bike, you fell down. Some of us was fortunate to get training wheels, but I never had a training wheel on the bike. My mother couldn't afford training wheels. We got a bicycle.
A lot of scraped knees.
It's not a scraped knees, and you fell down. But if you want to ride that bike, you get back up. But that's just the metaphor for life.
Right.
So it doesn't have to be easy. You know what I mean? So you got to know that the system is set up for people to prosper by doing the hard things.
And to my women, black women are the poorest in America, and it's easy to take that girls brunch or that girls trip. I know it's hard to say no when somebody invites you. Let's go here, the concerts, tickets for everything. Or now I never knew, because somebody's always pay for me, so I never knew how much tickets were.
That's the girl advantage, right?
Yeah.
See that? Yeah, so don't feel so bad about being a girl.
I love it.
Open the car door for you.
I love it. I love it. It's hard to say no, no, thank you. It's hard to, boy, I learned how to cook during Corona. It's hard to just buckle down. I know with social media, all the pictures and the FOMO, fear of missing out, FOMO. But listen, like Robert said, it's not going to always be like that. It's a beautiful thing when you can wake up when your eyes open.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing when you can say, what do you do? What I want to do.
Yes.
What do you do for a living? What I want to do.
Yes.
And it's like you always say, it's not really working. But I want to see, if nothing else, every workshop we have, and because of course, COVID-19, we're not doing any now, it needs to be packed, Robert.
Financial education, you mean?
Financial education. It needs to be packed in here. I mean, you have to know how important it is to, again, it's not going to make us equal in the eyes of a lot of people, but boy, they will respect us. You don't have to like me, but when you come in with that 700 plus and him 850 credit score, and you have money, and you talk like you have sense, that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to just any other race. It's like running a marathon for breast cancer, and somebody come up to you and say, listen, AIDS is just as bad. Okay, but we just talking about breast cancer now. We just, give me a minute. I know all lives matter, but can we just talk about Black lives now? We're not dissing anybody else. So when I say empowerment, especially people of color, we love everybody, but we do know that there's a disparity there. So what we try to do is be an example. Look at us. If somebody else did it, you can do it. You know what I mean? We're not telling you what we heard. We're telling you what we know and what we've done and what we're doing.
Yes.
So we want to share that. It's hard, but it's not going to always be hard.
Yes, because I was raised by a single mother. My father
You
was
got a heck of a story.
My father was an abuser. I mean, before I even knew I was a person, I was in Chicago, Illinois. Just before I became conscious that I was a person, I was in Chicago, Illinois. And then from there, before my father come home, matter of fact, he served in the military.
He did?
Yeah, and when he came
branch?
back, in the Army. He was in the Army.
Okay.
And when he came back, he couldn't get a job. The only job he can get is a fill-up station. That was a gas station they call pumping gas and getting tips. And then he would get he said self-esteem was so shocked because they wouldn't hire him. And my mother with three
Served
kids.
the country.
Yeah.
And came back.
Couldn't
as
get a
black
job.
man and could-
So my mother would go out and clean and do whatever she had, and my father would get jealous because his self-esteem, was just shot. So he would start abusing her. He would beat her almost every night. And I remember that. And one night, before he came home, she said, I'm leaving. And she left in the middle of the night. And we got on the bus to my Aunt Lucille in Cincinnati, Ohio. So we stayed there for like 3 years. And then we came here down in South Florida. So, I mean, man, my mother just told me, she said, Robert, listen, I don't have a lot of money.
Right.
Please don't do anything and commit crimes because I don't have money to get lawyers for you to get you out of jail. And I believed her. I really did because I loved my mother and she took care of us. So I said, Mother, I'm going to make something. She said, don't get on them drugs. And she said that, So I believe that. Lynda, is that someone calling in or I got a question? But
Oh, we got some messages. This is Ultra Dallas Ultra.
Uh-huh.
And thanks for sharing. I was supposed to get with you a while ago. I need some financial direction.
Good.
Come
right.
on in.
So,
we should give out the phone number too.
So, yeah, give out this telephone number to the office so they can call. They want to talk to us, private consultation.
Absolutely. 305-825-1444. But you had every excuse to just mess up in life.
Oh, man.
You got a heck of a story.
Oh, man.
You didn't have an example.
Oh.
No silver spoon.
Didn't come up with a father. Never had a personal mentor. The world was my mentor. I used to watch movies, and I would see neighborhoods with sidewalks and them going out to dinner, and at that time, man, we Mama gave us hot dogs and beans. She did whatever she could. She was a janitor. She cleaned people's houses. She worked at a pickle factory. She had 3 jobs. And I would say, Mom, why every time, you working 3 jobs and I ask you for something, you say you don't have no money. You got to just pay bills. And I say, when I grow up, I'm not going to just work to pay bills. I'm going to live.
You actually said that as a young...
Yes, I did. And her, my mother, my sister, we laughed about it, not too long ago. So she says, Robert,
Really?
my perception was that doesn't make sense for you to just work paycheck to paycheck and pay bills. How you going to live? So I figured, listen, I wasn't gonna do the drugs because I seen my friends that was making it rain drugs, but they was here today and gone tomorrow. They either dead or in jail. So I said, okay, let me do something. I hated reading, Lynda. But
Can't tell now.
Oh my God. I hated reading. I didn't want to read. I wanted to watch and look. But then I figured out, okay, let me see how this whole world works. You have to start reading. You have to be well read, and you have to have something. You have to put something in your computer bank. You gotta put something up here, and you have to serve. So I looked at the industries that you can serve. But first, I wanted to find out about money. We didn't have any money. I wanted to learn everything that I could about money. And then when you first start out, you're trying to take the easy way out. I went to the horse track, the dog track. I mean, I was trying to get rich quick. I went through all that stuff. In 1984, I remember going to Africa and going into gold mines. I went to Liberia, Africa in 1980.
In the gold mines.
And went to the gold mines to get gold and then buy the gold for like 20% below the London fixed price, and actually bring it back here with a 20% markup and sell the gold. I learned how to assay to cook it.
You were on a mission.
What? Man. And then I said convenience stores. I mean, I started a convenience store. I got some friends of mine that opened up convenience stores, and I just figured, hey, people come. But I didn't know anything about the markup.
Right.
I didn't know the profit margin.
Gotcha.
I didn't know. Then when I found out, oh my God, have a convenience store, in order to make money, you got to have a lot of volume, because you might make 20 cents on each item. 20 cents? That's why you have to be a Walmart or Amazon. But I didn't know that.
Okay.
So then I started learning more. Listen, when I hear people talking about get rich quick schemes, let me tell you something. There is no such thing about getting rich. There's a lot of get poor schemes, but there is no get rich quick schemes. Every good idea, everyone who's prospering, let me tell you something, that didn't happen overnight. They took at least a good 15 to 20 years to really hone your craft to be really, really good. It really does.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and that's the problem with a lot of us, we want to find something, whether it's Forex or Bitcoin or whatever.
Yeah.
The system is not set up to let you or nobody else all of a sudden, quickly get rich. No. The system is not set up like that. Even if you're trading stocks and being a day trader, do you know you pay the highest tax in all the land when you buy today and sell tomorrow?
I learned the hard way.
You pay a lot of tax.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them 50% on your money, 60% on your money, and you don't find it out until you get ready to do your taxes. You go, oh my God, I owe that much. They punish you when you try to get money so quick and fast. Look at the drug dealers. I mean, you try to get the faster, quicker way you try to get money. I'm telling you, the system is against you. The system like loan, planting seed. That's what you say, that old money, old rich people, old money, long money. Wine, the good wine, planting the seed and let it grow.
Yes.
That's the system. Time is on your side. You have to understand time. And time is coming. Whether you like it or not, nobody can stop. Now, a lot of black people like to say, man, that takes too long. If you say, listen, we want to set up a financial plan, a strategy is going to be 10 years. 10 years, I may be dead.
I know.
Well, if you dead, honey, you ain't got to worry about it. The problem is if you're not dead, if you're alive.
That's
10 years is too long. I don't want to put my money nowhere where it's going to take 10 years to come out of the ground and prosper. Well, 10 years coming? What you going to do?
You can't stop it.
You can't stop it.
Don't you want to be in a good position when they get here?
Right.
Financially, you can't stop it. It's going to happen. So we talked about it, doing the hard stuff.
Yes.
We talked about not letting how you came up and how you were raised get in the way as an excuse.
I don't care if you've been to jail. You still can get a trade and become very, very good.
So now we're talking about planting seeds and time. So we're just trying to really break down all the excuses. And again, we're not telling you what we heard. We're telling you what we know. I always wanted to live in a high rise on the east side.
And you did.
Never did want. I shouldn't say I didn't want to have
beach
children.
Right now in a condo. You always said you wanted to be on a condo on the beach.
And I always said, my maternal instincts wasn't on 10. There's 5 of us girls, and most of my sisters, that's all they wanted.
You're married to her sister, 33 years, Natalie.
That's my brother there.
Best brother-in-law.
Best brother-in-law in the world. But I knew when I was growing up what I wanted. I knew it'll take time. Back then, most billionaires made their money in real estate. And so when I researched it, like when you said you watch TV and I want money, and you tried the African gold and the convenience store,
Fish market, I did all that.
Snow cones.
Snow cones.
Yeah, you
T-shirts. I mean, I went to school for architecture. That's just too much work for that little bit of money.
No offense to architects.
Oh Lord, but y'all work hard, man. Putting in the electrical, the plumbing. Oh my God, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Stand up. Listen, I started wearing glasses because of architecture design school. I mean, I had the little tedious details. I mean, I didn't start wearing glasses until I was 22. That's coming from architectural. Staying up all night long. That's just, man.
Now they got computers to do it, but they still charge. I think plans for our building that we're doing, I think it's like $90,000 architectural fees.
Yeah, but man, they architects. I mean, unless you the top, but just being an average architect, man, y'all do a lot of work.
They do.
Y'all do a lot of work.
It takes time, and so for both of us, for me, again, not letting fear dictate. People would ask, "Oh my God, you buying that building? What if you don't get tenants? It's going to take a long time for it to, appreciate." But as you said, time is going to pass. Is what we do with it. And like I said, it can be your best friend or your worst enemy.
I think black people really need to understand this thing about time, by planting the seeds. By letting it, cultivate it, keeping the weeds out. I mean, really, man, and stop saying that you want to do something so quick and fast. That's a sucker's bet. Do something that's gonna come to harvest 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. I mean, some of the financial biggest, richest, wealthiest people, they plan for 20 and 30 years. Before I can understand why would somebody plan 50 years and they're gonna be dead. They planning how a community is going to be. And right now, they have financial seminars that's scheduled right now in the year of 2040. Wow. 2040. That's 20 years from now. They've already know the place where they're going to have it at. 20 years from now. And most people, I guess, we like, man, that's a long time, But no, I'm telling you, that time will be here. Time is flying. And if you plan now, you're going to be ahead of the game. How many times we hear people say, "Oh man, we met y'all 10 years ago, and we should have did it."
I had a nickel for every time.
Oh,
I wish
man.
I would have met you 5 years ago, 10 years ago. When my son was born, my son or my grandchild would have been set for life, instead of getting them the toys and what have you.
Yes.
Very often you say, why don't you buy them stock? Now, my understanding, somebody just bought George Floyd's daughter stock. From what I understand.
Yes. I read about that.
I forget what movie star or singer or somebody.
Yes.
Just bought that. I think she's 8.
Right.
Barbara Streisand?
Yeah, I think it was Barbara Streisand.
Unbelievable.
Bought the child some stock.
In her name.
Yes, in her name.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and see,
that's what's up.
And you can do that.
And you can do that.
But see, people of color, it's like every year, every other year, there's something that goes around the black community on how to get rich quick.
Oh my God.
How to whether it's
some pyramid scheme.
Something, Lord, that's been happening ever since
And they fall for it in masses every year.
That's been happening for the last 50 years.
Instead of just saying, "No, thank you, I got a plan. And I'm working my plan."
Yes.
A man is not my plan. A suit not my plan.
No.
A pyramid not my plan. I have a plan, and I'm working my plan.
Time. I mean, it takes time, and if it's not for your generation, it's the next generation. That's why people who are very wealthy, they get wealthy for themselves, their children's children's. I mean, you time is on your side, and if you really love and you understand how the world works and how money works, and you understand this thing called time. Stop trying to get rich quick. Stop trying to do anything fast, because it's going to fizzle out. It's going to be like a flash in the pan. Trust me, if it was easy, my mother called me lazy the whole time I was growing up. She said, "Boy, you didn't want to cut the yard. You didn't want to clean up. You don't know how to cook." And I said, "Mom, I'm going to have somebody for that. I'm going to have somebody to do that." And I do. I think I cut the yard once in my life because I made the money. I want to pay the person who's good at cutting the yard.
Create a job.
I want to create a job. I want to pay that person to paint my house. I want to circulate it. That's what I want to do. And for those of you all that say that you didn't have a chance or you don't have education. Let me tell you something. You can learn whatever you don't know. Not knowing something is not an excuse.
Absolutely.
Like I said
Absolutely.
earlier, at one time when you was born, you didn't know how to walk. Think about that. And it takes time, repetition. Repetition is the key to everything. Doing it over and over and over and over until you can do it with your eyes closed. So when you say, I don't know computers, or I don't know law, or I don't know investments, I don't know. Listen, I've been doing this over 30 years. So people come in my office and they say, Rob, how do you look at that screen and you know the ticker symbols? You know what Microsoft, MSFT, you know what Amazon, you know what Facebook. I mean, you know all this. How do you know? Do you think I learned that in one day? Repetition. So there's no hurry up, get rich. There's hurry up and get broke schemes, but there's no hurry up. Now, I know that we feel like we're behind and we've been struggling. We want to show, instant gratification, but that's a sucker's bet. No, you don't want to do that. You want to always take it slow and easy. And like I said, I don't want to hear this about I don't know nothing. Because like I said, at one time you couldn't learn, you didn't know how to walk. You certainly didn't know how to ride a bike. And you didn't know how to swim. And those of you who don't know how to swim, I tell you, you need to do something. You need to learn how to swim. Challenge your potential. And you should always be trying to challenge your potential,
We are the Henderson Financial Group. And, I've said for many years, this is not a moment, it's a movement. And this is really a movement.
Yes.
We are in a movement. Give us a call, 305-825-1444. We absolutely love what we do. We share what we do. Free consultations. There's no should I say there's no minimum dollar amount? You gotta want to have it. We don't want to come right.
Don't call and say I got $1 to invest.
And I've evolved, Robert, to your point. We can't take on the ones that we got to twist their arm.
No, we don't want nobody who we got to beg to love themselves.
If you're not ready, it's fine.
Right.
Time. But if you really want to do better, if you really want to learn, if you really want to knock down those excuses, that's what we're here for.
Yes.
And we absolutely love it.
We're here to help you. It's like you're trying to climb a tree. We're going to be there to support you.
We'll tell you the good
but we're not
and the
make
bad.
You. We're not going to. You're too grown for that. If you're over 21 years old.
I used to say, but we have to.
I tell you want to be a social worker
all the time.
Look, Robert, help them. No, man.
Yeah.
God say help the ones. You take one, make one step. God will make two. You gotta want to. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love your family, because what you do affects your whole family. The people who love you. It's like a rippling effect. How you carry yourself, what you do. Anytime you learn something, and you got to share it, In the weeks to come, what we're going to talk about is wills and trusts. That's one of my favorite things. We're going to talk about using your money at least 2-3 times, your family bank. We're going to show you a strategy. And we're going to talk to you also about the new strategies in life insurance. We're not talking about death insurance. We're not talking about this term. Although term, if you can't afford a permanent policy, you could get a term with a conversion. But you got to make sure that you convert it before it goes out, before it runs out. Because term insurance is the most profitable insurance product for all the insurance companies. It's like candy. And candy is, at the grocery store is very, very profitable. It costs them nothing, but they make a lot of money off candy. That's why they have the checkout counter at every store, right up front, because they make a lot of money. Candy may cost them 3 cents, and they sell it for 75 cents or $1. That's a hell of a return. You following? So we're going to talk to you about investments, whether it's mutual funds or stocks or just retirement planning. And retirement planning is totally different from investment planning. And a lot of people don't understand that.
And again, we're not here to sell you anything or make you do anything. As a matter of fact, we are so tightly regulated.
Yes.
Between our Series 7, 6, 7 license, this gentleman has a CFP, Certified Tax Codes. We don't want to get on the other side of any of these regulatory agencies.
No get-rich-quick schemes here.
No get-rich-quick schemes here.
We ain't gonna tell you to go out there and buy this. No. We don't know.
No.
We don't know. No one really knows.
We manage money for nonprofits, for individuals. People trust us with their retirement money. So we're talking about products, services, investments that you can trust but verify. We're not going to pull something out of the sky, some new creation, June bugs, flying sneakers, as you like to say. So we're talking about getting yourself a plan and really working it and educating you, because you know when you make someone money, or when they're on the right track, they're our best cheerleaders, Robert.
Yes.
They are our commercials.
Yes.
They tell a friend who tell a friend who tell a friend. You know, initially they may, oh, what you doing going to them for? Oh, you missing out. And then eventually they look and see how that person is just a new attitude. You straighten up your back
Yes.
when your finances right, and you
Yes.
know where you're going. So give us a call.
We're going to help you if you want to buy real estate, tell you where the best place and how to
absolutely.
buy it. And we also, in terms of taxes, saving taxes. Let me tell you something. Ever since I got Larissa, boy, I tell you, Larissa's a certified tax coach out of Atlanta. Man, I haven't paid taxes. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And it's legal.
And it's legal.
It's legal.
We're not saying
Man.
you got to look over your shoulder
Yes.
and hope they don't catch you.
Oh, my
We're
God.
talking about within the rules.
Oh, man. It's legal stuff.
Yeah.
We too black to be doing anything in the gray area. You know that. So we got to do it by the law, by the rule.
Yeah.
And trust me, there's a lot of things that you didn't even know that you didn't even know that you didn't know. And that's what we're going to talk to you about. Not the whole basic plain things. We don't sell TV dinners. We ain't telling you about a TV dinner. We're personal chefs. And we're going to bring it to you. So same time, same station. I want you all to stay tuned, because my daughter, Hyacinth, Lynda's niece, she's been working in the firm here for 17 years. So she's up next. And Heisey can talk to you, man. She knows a whole lot. She's a Navy SEAL also, right? Runs in the family. And she's going to keep it going. A lot of you all know her, but if you don't know her, you will get to know her. I'm excited about her coming up next. We love you. Same time, same station.
Our first, you got through it.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
Have a good day.